Insider trading has long been one of the most lucrative ways for members of Congress to build serious wealth. What's illegal for the masses, punishable by up to 20 years in prison and a $5 million fine, has become the method for lifelong politicians to build up $100 million fortunes on salaries of less than $200,000 per year. But what if there was a way to copy their trades? My initial thoughts went to the stock market, where trader Nancy Pelosi was able to grow her portfolio by 16,930% since starting in public service 37 years ago, outperforming the S&P 500 by a staggering 581%. And I know this because thanks to the 2012 Stock Act, all members of Congress have to report their trades within 45 days or they face a whopping $200 fine. This actually happened in the case of Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, who was months late reporting nearly 130 stock and options trades worth nearly $3.5 million. And it's safe to say the $200 fine wasn't enough to prevent him from raking it in on healthcare stocks and a put options trade on Chinese company Alibaba, something members of Congress can have a direct impact on. So it's safe to say simply copying these politicians' stock trades with platforms like Dub have their flaws, because number one, they can wait 45 days to disclose any trading activity, and number two, the fine for not doing so is just $200. So this brings us to websites like Polymarket or Kalshi, which have opened up a whole new world for insider trading opportunities. An example of this comes in January of 2026, when a relatively new anonymous Polymarket account placed a $34,500 bet that the Venezuelan president would be ousted by the end of the month. Just a few days later, after the capture of Nicolas Maduro, this bet hit for a $436,000 payout. And there's examples of suspiciously successful Polymarket activity across nearly every topic. But luckily, all these trades are documented in real time on a public blockchain for everyone to see. So what if there was a bot that could track the trades from these top performing, consistently profitable Polymarket accounts so you could copy them? Well, there's a few bots like this that have already been created, but the one we are going to use first is called Prediction Insiders by OddsJam. It posts trades in real time from consistently profitable Polymarket bettors and allows you to click one button that redirects you to Polymarket so you can copy the bet. I just deposited $1,000 of Bitcoin into Polymarket, which I guess after fees and price fluctuations gives our Polymarket account a starting balance of $983.37. The bot we are going to be using claims it's had a total return of 481% over the last 30 days, with a total profit of $24,000 since it started with a bankroll of $5,000. If our returns from this bot are anywhere near that, I'd honestly be super impressed. So let's get started on OddsJam in this Prediction Insider section. The first bet we are going to make is that Trump will say the word Bitcoin this week by March 29th. The insider who placed this trade has a 6.53% total ROI on their account from over 1,900 bets placed, and we can get into this trade for 3.2% cheaper than they did. So let's click this yes 30 cents button, costing us $9. That will pay out 33 bucks if it hits. Since I filled in on OddsJam that my bankroll is $1,000, it's telling me exactly how much to place on each trade automatically. So today and for the next 30 days, I'm going to be placing trades using this Polymarket bot with the goal to remain almost fully invested the entire time. I was able to make $617.87 worth of buys on day one, and after claiming some of our winnings, we have $614.75 available to trade on day two, and our portfolio is currently sitting at about a $13.20 gain from the previous day. I continued placing trades from the spot on day two, reaching $1,111 in the portfolio by day three. So far, that's a 13% gain in just 3 days, but we'll see if the bot can keep up these returns. On day four, the bot profited $66.82. We made $7.86 profit on day five and a $42.76 gain on day six. Despite, I guess, being down today on the Polymarket account, the portfolio is still up about 15% in its first week, which would be a return of about 65% per month. Not quite the 500% return that this bot has allegedly been performing at, but still a better return than even the most corrupt politicians are getting in the stock market. I don't want to get too excited since this bot has only been giving us trades to make for about a week, and things could very quickly go in the opposite direction. Week two is when our portfolio started taking a hit, with an almost flat return on day 7 and day 8, a $15.32 loss on day 9, a $24.43 loss on day 10, and by day 11, things got even worse. The portfolio is now down to just $1,067.15 in value, a pretty steep decline from where the account was at in previous days. Even if you're a consistently profitable bettor, variance can happen, so hopefully by the end of the 30 days taking these insider calls, we can see a clear track record of success. Day 11 finished off at a whopping $71.30 $26.39 in the red. On day 12, we saw a small recovery for $26.15 in profit, and after another loss on day 13, our portfolio reached a low of $849.64 before recovering back to $1,050 by the end of the day. We're now back down to only a 5.9% return on the portfolio from where we started. And with 375 trades placed so far, our win rate is only 54%, significantly underperforming the bot's supposed 65% win rate and 577% gain over the last 30 days by a long shot. Before we make any tweaks to our strategy of just taking as many trades as possible that this bot suggests, I want to wait until at least the halfway point of this challenge, which is coming up pretty soon. By day 15, our portfolio was valued at just $739.84, following a few more days of losses trading. The algorithm for the bot has updated to show more realistic results, but it still says it has a 55.28% win rate and an 80% return in the past month. We are currently down $243.53 after 2 days in a row of some pretty hefty losses, but just as fast as we lost money, things could start looking up again pretty quickly. But to make sure I'm not missing anything about the secret world of winning against casinos, let's interview Alex Monahan, a Stanford graduate and former quant trader who founded OddsJam before selling it for $160 million.
The legal online sports betting started in the US in about 2018, and that's when I really started to take sports betting seriously. A lot of other quants, people at Susquehanna, they're spending all day trading in financial markets. Unsurprisingly, when sports books launch, a lot of those people are like, oh, I wonder if we can get an edge and start betting. So that's really when I started to sports bet. And a lot of these books, they run pretty lucrative sign-up bonuses, as they're called, deposit matches. So that's really what got me hooked. Is I initially signed up, I saw FanDuel and DraftKings had like $1,000 deposit match. You put in $1,000. They were in full growth mode. Just, we want to acquire customers. There were all these books, all these bonuses. And at that point I was like, seems like there's some free money. I started sports betting, and then it kind of, unraveled from there, betting more and more and more every day.
And to give you guys an example of how these casino sign-up bonuses work, right now a sportsbook in Wisconsin is offering a $100 deposit match, meaning if you sign up for a new account on the site and deposit $100, they give you $100 in free play. You can place on any bet on the site, and if you win, you get to keep your winnings and withdraw. For most people, this one-time windfall of cash is a way for the casinos to get you hooked, but for the smart players, you can actually use this to your advantage to make money. And since we have just a $1,000 budget for this video, I withdrew $100 from our Polymarket account and deposited it into this new sportsbook. Now with our initial $100 and $100 of free play, I'm going to place a $200 bet that baseball player Bryce Elson gets under 17.5 player outs to win $363. Now to cover our losses in case this bet loses, I withdrew another $170 from Polymarket and deposited it into a casino with the most favorable odds, betting that Bryce Elson gets over 17.5 player outs. And because the odds on one casino are plus 115 while the other is minus 123, we profit between $93 and $96 no matter what happens, thanks to the $100 bonus bet we got from the casino. So we're literally using their own rules against them. The only issue is this process isn't super replicable. There's only so many casinos in your state, and eventually you'll run out of bonus opportunities like this to take advantage of.
So then I started going to different states, because like different state, different sports books. So Colorado, I flew out to during a long weekend. They had a $7,500 risk-free bet. It's insane if you think about it. You place a bet, if you lose, you get your money back. So as you said, you can just hedge it. And a lot of sports books too, a lot of them have patched it, but initially it was different state, different app, different sign-up bonus. So in Pennsylvania, you can do the BetMGM $1,000 risk-free bet. You lose, you get your money back. You can hedge it, turn it into maybe $600, whatever. Then you could drive across the border to New Jersey, sign up for a new BetMGM account, and do the same thing.
Using this method, Alex was able to make tens of thousands from sports betting, but the casinos started to catch on.
It was definitely the heydays. All the sports books launching, full growth mode, crazy bonuses. Now they've come down a bit. They're facing a lot of pressure. So there was a point DraftKings was losing $1 billion a quarter. You can still make a lot of money off these bonuses, but most of them have come down. Books are more focused on profitability, less so growth.
But this led him to another method for winning against the house called arbitrage betting. It's now day 18. The bot had a few good days in a row, and we are now sitting at $791.47 in the portfolio, even with $270 worth of withdrawals, putting this account at $78.10 in profit so far. And as you guys can see from these top three positions, the position size is quite large, and that's because they're not actually trades from the bot, but instead they're arbitrage bets. In an an esports game between One Win and Bebop, I put $199.59 on One Win to win to make back $269.71. And on another casino, I put $60 on Bebop to win the game to make us back $270. So either way, I make $10 profit due to the odds discrepancy. And I did this with 2 more trades between Polymarket and other books today that made us $7.77 in profit and $4.53 profit. Nothing crazy, but with a higher bankroll and more volume, that could add up over time.
So I'd say arbitrage. I learned that word trading at SIG. Like very few Americans, less than 1% probably have even heard the word. Basically, when markets are inefficient, it happened with crypto. Let's say you could buy Bitcoin on one exchange at 50 grand, another exchange it's 51. You buy, sell instantaneously, make a grand. So when sports books launch, there's hundreds of books. They're all setting their own prices. There's lots of arbitrage. They're not efficient markets. It's not like the stock market. It's very inefficient because all these books want to set their own prices. There's literally, if you think about it, it's crazy. For Apple stock, there's one price. For the Lakers tonight, there's 100. You're basically picking books off. You're trading them. You're not betting degenerately. You're day trading the books' inefficiencies. There's millions of odds across sports books. That ultimately led to the idea for OddsJam. I think the most common question I always get is, oh, well, if you are making money sports betting, why did you start a company? And again, like I try to be transparent as possible. It's like books don't like winners, right? If you're counting cards in blackjack, they have Face ID to recognize those people and they will kick you out. You cannot play. And it's the same thing in sports betting. You know, if you make 100 grand on DraftKings, you're no longer going to be able to bet $1,000 a play. It's going to go down to 500, 250, 100. I had a solid like 6 months, a year plus on most sports books. Some books never even limited. For example, my most profitable book of all time was called WinBet. You know, the Win in Las Vegas. They tried doing an online sports book. They never really limited, but they went out of business because they were getting killed by sharps, right? They were getting destroyed. I made about $1 million profit sports betting, but I was betting for 6-7 years.
This is when I realized the bot we've been following for the past 18 days likely aren't just the insider traders in Congress or on Mr. Beast's editing team you hear about in the edge cases on social media. I'm guessing these instances are quite rare in the grand scheme of things, and instead the trades I'm following from these consistently profitable Polymarket accounts are instead from sharps or nerds, as I like to call them, that did the math to ensure that they have an edge against the house.
You're completely sure of the math.
That's my quant.
Your what?
My quantitative, my math specialist. Look at him.
Are there any like other methods that you think are like actually legit to make money sports betting?
Yeah, middle betting. So that's similar to arbitrage, but books at different lines. So especially in the NFL, maybe you can get St. Brown over 68.5 on DraftKings. FanDuel is at 78.5. You bet the over 68.5, under 78.5. You have a 10-yard gap. So if he falls between that, which is kind of like the most likely outcome, he's not going to have 0 yards. He's not going to have 1,000 receiving yards. So kind of where his distribution is centered is most likely. So there's stuff like that. There's EV betting, which is finding discrepancies. Let's say every single sports book has the Lakers and the Celtics as even money. They're both equally likely to win the game. On Kalshi, it's 50-50. Polymarket, 50-50. DraftKings, -110, -110. FanDuel, -110, -110. Same odds for both teams imply same probability of winning. So let's say you can get a team at +110. One book is stale. They have the Lakers at +110. So this is a 50-50 game, so you can just work out the math. 50% of the time you're going to make $110. 50% of the time you're going to lose $100. That's kind of how it works. Like a simple example is you're using probability from prediction markets, other sports books to identify exploitable lines on other books.
Now that we understand the math behind how this works, throughout the rest of this challenge, I am going to keep taking trades from the Polymarket bot, while at the same time implementing some of the other strategies Alex mentioned to see how much we make. The nice thing about Polymarket and other peer-to-peer betting platforms is they don't have to limit winners, because instead of betting against the house, you're betting against other gamblers. And these platforms make money via charging a 2 to 3% transaction fee whenever you make a trade. The downside to that is peer-to-peer markets can be more efficient than traditional casinos, because instead of the house setting the price, prices are set by users betting against each other. And combining that with the fact that there's transaction fees on every trade, your potential edge can get pretty slim.
A recent article by the Wall Street Journal came out revealing 67% of Polymarket profits goes to just 0.1% of accounts, while most traders lose money. Now the question is, are these accounts so profitable because they have insider information, or are they just simply math nerds? Or maybe is it a bit of both?
The next week of the Polymarket bot trading brought us up to $256.10 in profit, a record high so far for this challenge, but a $98 loss on day 26 and a $10 loss on day 27 brought us back down. Due to our limited bankroll, I've now only been taking trades from the Polymarket bot spot that are ranked above an 80 confidence score, and then using the rest of our funds for either positive EV, arbitrage bets, or casino bonus opportunities that have made us an additional $341.07 so far. And in case you guys are like, that's cap, I'm gonna pop up on the screen some of the arb bets along with the positive EV bets I've taken in the past 7 days. The final 3 days of this challenge were marked by Polymarket bot performance of a $24 win on day 28, a $53 gain on day 29, and a slight $1 loss on day 30. Over the past 3 days, I also did some positive EV betting and we lost $17. Then on day 30, I did an arbitrage bet with about 70% of our bankroll between Polymarket and another casino, and the bet ended up losing on Polymarket and winning on the other casino for a total profit of 48 bucks. In the past 30 days on Polymarket, we wagered $7,501.72 with the Polymarket bot, and assuming a house edge of roughly 2.5%, since that's about their transaction fee on every trade, our expected loss would be $187.54, but instead we profited $224.10, marking a 22% gain versus an 18.7% expected loss if we just randomly place bets. We also profited $474.07 in this video, taking advantage of casino sign-up bonuses, our betting, and doing positive EV bets, taking our bankroll from $1,000 to $1,698.17 in 30 days. So if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to try out OddsJam, which is the tool I use for all this stuff, I'll leave a link for a 7-day free trial at the top of the description, and if you use the code WOLF35, you get 35% off your first month.
I'll also leave a link to Alex Monahan's social media down below in the description for you guys to check out. Otherwise, if you made it to the end, be sure to drop a like on this video, and I will see you guys in the next one next week. Peace out.